Alright, here's another video. It makes me sick to see cigarette butts everywhere. And there's garbage cans at least 10 feet away. People just throw them on the ground. And I'm gonna lose my freedoms and my rights to smoke out in public places like they did at the beach in Lake Michigan, because people do this. They're inconsiderate. And everywhere around this whole shelter in the park is full of cigarette butts. And then who picks that stuff up? Look at that. And they're not my cigarettes. I learned from a Vietnam veteran to field dress my cigarettes and put them in the garbage. So I carry them in my pocket until I get to a garbage can. I shake out the tobacco and just keep the filters and put them in the garbage. But people don't care about that kind of thing. They just throw their shit around and litter everywhere. And then some politician's gonna come around and get a law passed that you can't smoke in public places anymore, like the beach at Gilson Beach in Chicago, or north of Chicago. And even on the Chicago beaches you can't smoke because people do this shit. And it makes me sick, and it takes away from my freedoms, because I'm a responsible person. I'm not like these people who litter and don't care. Even though I enjoy smoking, it's not healthy for you, but I try to monitor my health and my habits. And then I'm a bad guy if I turn people in for littering. There's a fine for littering. And this might be a minor thing, but I don't think it's going to be able to be overlooked for very long, because they have to hire people to clean the stuff up. And even the people that clean up here, I think they hose the shelter area and they just blows more of these cigarette butts along until somebody comes along with clippers that pick stuff up. And now they're asking for volunteers, trail watchers and all kinds of things like that for cleanup, because they don't have enough help. And then if I report things, I'm a snitch and a troublemaker, and I stand the risk of getting attacked by people who get caught doing things. And I don't have the right to defend myself anymore, to protect myself, and I have to depend on the government to protect me. And it's not fair, it's not right. There used to be a Good Samaritan law where you can help people. Well, how's this not part of that? If you see somebody say something, but they want you to say something to the police, they don't want you to confront people because you might get attacked. So doing the right thing is always going to be harder. And you have to use discernment as to who and what you approach and say and do, and not cause problems with other people. But look at the problems. They're already a problem. They don't have enough help. They don't have enough law enforcement officers to correct people from doing these things, to educate them. So what now? Do we have to make a stink in the news and online for all kinds of garbage? This is the minor stuff, but I pick up shit around the parks every day when I'm out there and on trails, and you see it in my videos. And I hate seeing that stuff in the woods, even plastic bags and garbage hanging on trees, cups in here. I cleaned this whole area before. The squirrels and the raccoons dig it out of the garbage, the wind carries it, and you can see underneath there. That's just some examples. Fast food Tupperwares. And then people go and hide tubs with food behind trees in the forest, and they dump their house plants. They dump garbage that doesn't belong in the woods, polluting. Look at that, somebody's smoking some blunts. That's what that's from. They're cigars. They don't just smoke the cigars. I find they're roaches. They're leftovers pot smoking blunts in the shelters. They leave stuff there. It's just sickening. I picked all these things up. And every weekend there's more of it coming. Even through there you can see there's 2 plastic Tupperwares there, or the little to-go containers. Plastic under the leaves. And here, you know, water bottles. This is not even one of the bad places. There's worse places than this. And that's even more depressing if I go there by Skokie Lagoons, where I go kayaking, canoeing, and the fishermen are leaving garbage all over the shore, full of Modelo cans and Corona bottles and cases piled up with bait. I'll have to go there and do a video just so you can see what I'm talking about. And then they ask for volunteers in the community. They get the school's kids out there to volunteer because it's too much of a mess and the maintenance crews can't handle it all on their own. And nobody wants to do their job. They're constantly hiring. They're constantly asking for more money from taxes so they can get more people, more stuff out there, more involvement. When does it end? If nobody says anything or does anything, nothing's gonna change. It's somewhat clean here now. It gets worse throughout the busy season. But I know I cleaned these woods and now it's full again. There's more bottles here. 1 in there. Here's another example. Coming through the woods, going hiking. This is what it looks like. Look around there. Litter everywhere. And down that gully there. Along the bank here. I cleaned all this stuff. And it's just right back. Everywhere. Everywhere there's a garbage can like this. If it's not people feeding the animals, putting out trays, the animals are digging it out of the trash. And of course, I can fault people, but you know, common sense. I've been to other places in other forest preserves and national forests, and they have lids on their garbage cans so the critters can't get in. More garbage that doesn't even belong here. And then people dump stuff from their homes in the garbage to clean out their cars. This morning I picked up a gas can with gasoline in it from one of those cans, and I gave it to the maintenance guys. I said it's a good gas can, the gas they could use to probably start the fires when they clean out the forest and they burn the brush, because they're doing maintenance in the forest. They don't have enough help doing that either. So I'm gonna try and get the word out in the cloud that I'm tired of being denied my God-given rights, because not only do politicians want to make a name for themselves, but people don't care about the public areas. Garbage. Like I said, this is a minor stuff right now, but it's still enough to notice the litter and dog toys. People don't pick up their dog crap half the time, and I see them, I videotape them, and it depends who you talk to, which officer. They use discernment as to if, you know, they should give a ticket. And then you have to sign a ticket, then you got to go to court for it and all that stuff. So are they putting the burden back on the citizens to fight citizens, to teach people to live like human beings and not be pigs? Look at that mask. Oh my God, that somebody died, they didn't have their mask on. They got COVID now. Look at these rocks here, they don't belong here. Somebody dumped these rocks here. They're bringing them from home to throw them in the forest, along with their plastic bottles and junk back there. junk everywhere you look, deep in the woods there. And yeah, I see people doing videos online that are worse, from where like homeless people camped out, or meth heads, or whatever it was. They have camps and dump all their stuff there, and then somebody has to go clean that up. So there's definitely something going on in the world to where people are getting careless. Like I said, this is a minor thing here. It's somewhat civilized of a suburb, but there's all kinds of things you notice. It's not nature anymore. And this right here is another thing. I find bottles in the woods everywhere I go, on all the trails. People are drinking, throwing their garbage out. And then they bring stuff from home, like these cement chunks and these posts right here. There's a pile. This is illegal dumping right here. But look at all these cigarette butts. This shit does not belong here. It didn't come from this forest. The forest is not a dumping ground. There's ways to dispose of these things, but they don't want to pay for disposal, so they come and they throw them out in the forest. And then it makes everything look like crap after a while. So there, I bitched. And more cigarette butts everywhere. Even these leaves should be clean here, so them drains don't get plugged up down there. But of course, we're gonna have to pay somebody to do it. And they can't handle it because they're all short-handed. So when all our departments are short-handed, they need a longer arm. They need people to start jumping in, pitching in, volunteering. Pay attention in your environment. Care. Help extend the long arm of the law to do the right thing, to be the correct, not to make the wrongs. And people dump all kinds of things here. They have leaf and garbage pickups and all this stuff. And over there I see a pile next to the woods line there of leaves that somebody dumped from their home. And they do have a specific pickup for that, but you have to pay. So people, they're skimping on their bills and passing them on to the general public, which is ridiculous and stupid. And they need to pay for that. They need to learn. So I'm going to help and catch as many as I can so they can learn a lesson, because life lessons cost money. Otherwise they don't remember and they don't respect the laws. Well, that's my rant for Monday morning. I already had somebody busted for doing things that they shouldn't be doing in the forest. And then I hate having to go to court for it. And there was an old person, and I feel bad for them. But they're gonna have to spread the news and make an example out of them and let everybody know what the rules and the laws are, because people seem to ignore them. And it's all kinds of people. It doesn't matter what nationality or where they come from or what their careers are. Everybody makes mistakes, but until you correct those and admit your mistakes and change and stop doing those things, things are not going to get any better. There's so much other things going on in the world that people are going to need help with, and we just alienate ourselves from each other more. You can't talk to strangers, because God forbid you're invading their privacy wherever they are. But look, is my privacy invaded here with all the messes I've been showing and the things I've been talking about? You know, I'm a bad guy, you know, because I'm a snitch. I'm gonna turn people in. Well, obviously whoever says that is an idiot with no class. You gonna call me an idiot? You better call me an idiot of the 21st kind, because I'm up there. I'm up there. And I love nature, and I love cleanliness, and I like people of good spirits, happy and joyful, who are not exclusive, and they don't want to include other people or talk to each other. When I was a kid, people were friendly. Now they're all becoming assholes and morons and all these other things, the negative things. But there's good people out there, caring people. Down in the distance there, I see some work trucks. Those are people that work in the forest, the crews. And I stop by and visit with them. I try not to take up too much of their time and just say thank you for their service. Because everybody has a service. Everybody should be of good service. And then now people point fingers at religion and faith systems and belief systems. And they're trying to demean each other some more, instead of being united and caring about their environment and people in their community. I don't know, people that just have to wake up, I guess. Start using your mind's eye and your heart's eye and do something about it. Do something positive. None of this bullshit, people hurting each other and being activists and destroying and damaging property in people's lives. I guess be positive. I guess that's it for now. I'll find something later.